Hey, I'm John Cannell, and today on Preppy Kitchen we're making an easy, amazing blueberry bread. So let's get started. First off, set your oven to 350 so it's nice and hot, and now we're gonna get all of our dry ingredients, starting with 2 cups or 240 grams of all-purpose flour into a bowl. You want your blueberry bread to be melt in your mouth, delicious, not bready and crummy. So do not use too much flour, which means use a scale, or if you're using measuring cups, sprinkle the flour in, level it off, and then pour it in. Don't scoop. To puff things up, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 and 2. If you love blueberry muffins, this is the recipe for you. It's like a sliceable blueberry muffin that you can just grab and go, and it is so delicious. For some contrast and to help you taste everything, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Just add that right in. Put your flour away, grab a whisk, and we're gonna give this a mix. Scale is done, and mix that up. If you wanted to, you could have added a little dash of cinnamon or any of your favorite spices to this as well. Ooh, a little 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom, that could be nice too. Set this aside, we're gonna grab another large bowl and get the wet ingredients together. This, by the way, is a wonderful recipe to make with little ones if you have some helping hands in the kitchen. It's just stir together. They'll love making it, and it's so nice to have some together time in the kitchen. It's one of my favorite things to do with Lachlan and George. Into my large bowl, I'm adding 1 cup or 200 grams of granulated sugar. Yes, the sugar sweetens things up, but it also softens the dough. If you add less sugar, the bread is gonna be breadier and harder, and you'll really notice the change in texture. To my sugar, I'm adding 1 egg. It's a binder to help hold everything together. No shells, please. 1/4 cup of veggie oil. You can use any neutral oil that you like here. And 1/4 cup of butter that's been melted and cooled. If you're wondering why we use both, well, the butter is delicious and we all love the flavor of butter. But unless you're enjoying this warm out of the oven, the butter is gonna harden and the texture is gonna be not as soft. Butter-based cakes are lovely warmed. Once they cool, they harden and it's just not as great. So we're doing a 50-50 split so that it'll be delicious and soft. It's a trick I also use with waffle recipes and a bunch of other things. I'm also adding in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And it's time to give this a really good whisk until it's come together and lightened in color a bit. This is the part that my kids really love. Whisk, 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 whisk. I think that's good. Very nice. I just wanted to give the sugar a little bit of a chance to dissolve. Now that I have a light, lovely color, it's time to add in 1/2 cup or 120 mils of whole milk. Okay, mix, mix, mix. Don't think I forgot about the star ingredient, the blueberries. You want 1 1/4 cups or 180 grams of fresh or frozen blueberries. If you're using frozen, that's totally fine. Just make sure they're frozen and not thawed. Grab about 2 teaspoons of the dry mixture, sprinkle that over the blueberries, and give them a little toss. This will give your blueberries a nice coating and help them float in the mixture as opposed to just sinking down. This is a delicious recipe, but on my book tour, I met so many people whose favorite Preppy Kitchen recipe was my blueberry lemon cake. I was very touched because it's one of my favorites too. And if you wanted to have similar flavors in this bread, I would just add the zest of 1 lemon right into the wet mixture. That will give you a ton of lemon flavor and it'll be a little bit lightened. You could even add a lemon glaze on top. Delicious. Pour the wet mixture into the remaining flour and get it all out. Just the butter, sugar, and vanilla smells so good already. Use your spatula to fold this together until it's almost combined. I don't want to mix it completely because we still have to add the blueberries in. Aside from adding too much flour, the other enemy of a tender, delicious baked good is going to be overmixing. You don't want to activate the gluten in the flour and create like a spongy, chewy, bready situation. Okay, mostly mixed. I still see some streaks of flour, and now it's time to add our blueberries in. Just like that. Now fold to distribute and be gentle with them. You don't want to crush them. And just hunt around in the bottom of your bowl for any remaining pockets of flour. Right now you want to grab an 8.5 by 4.5 pan. If you're using a 9 by 5, that's fine, but it'll be just shallower, it won't have that height. Give it a couple sprays or butter and flour. And to make our transfer super easy, grab a little bit of parchment paper for a cradle. A cradle is just parchment paper that fits in the long ways of any kind of rectangular pan. Once your bread's done, you can just lift it out to transfer. There's no inverting, no worrying, it'll come out. It's your insurance policy. Transfer your batter right into your pan now. Lovely, so many blueberries. Every last drop of batter goes right into that pan. This is optional, but a handful of blueberries on top isn't gonna hurt anybody. And in the oven, they're probably gonna bleed out and have that beautiful blueberry juice all over the place. And for a little bit of added sparkle, I'm gonna add just a sprinkling of sanding sugar. You could also use granulated sugar or turbinado sugar. Our blueberry bread is ready to go into the oven, 350 for 65 to 75 minutes, or until a skewer inserted in the middle comes out with just a couple crumbs for this moist, amazing, delicious cake-like bread. Here you go. Give it a slice and your blueberry bread is ready to enjoy. So tender, and look how jam-packed that is with blueberries. It is delicious. I hope you get a chance to make this delicious recipe, and if you like my videos, hit that subscribe button and check out my blueberry playlist.